Hello, I am Ms Houghtaling, one of the behavior specialists in Terrell ISD. And in honor of Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month, we are bringing you various resources and strategy ideas that you can use with your child with autism. And I will be talking to you today about social stories, which is a very helpful tool for those with autism. Well, what is a social story? They are short descriptions of a particular situation, event, or activity, which include specific information about what to expect in that situation and why. Social stories present information in a literal, concrete way, which may improve a person's understanding of a previously difficult or ambiguous situation or activity. The presentation and content can be adapted to meet different people's needs. They can help with sequencing or what comes next in a series of activities and executive functioning or the planning and organizing. By providing information about what might happen in a particular situation and some guidelines for behavior, you can increase structure in a person's life and thereby reduce anxiety. Well, wouldn't that be great? So here are some examples I will show you of what social stories may look like. And this one is presented in a storybook kind of format. And you'll see it has a title page and it has images to go along with the words. And so I'll just read some of it with you. What is the coronavirus? The coronavirus is a virus that can make people feel unwell. The coronavirus can also be called COVID-19. People who have the coronavirus may have these various things. Most people who have the coronavirus will stay at home to get better. Some people who have the coronavirus will go to the hospital to get better. And I can help stop the spread of germs by washing my hands with soap and water. I can take my time when I wash my hands. I can use hand sanitizer. And there will be no school for, and then you fill in the blank for your child, which in this case would be for the rest of this school year. School will reopen again. I will stay at home while school is closed. I will complete schoolwork and homework while I am at home. I know that I will be safe and I don't have to feel afraid. I will be safe and happy at home with my family. So as you can see, that social story informed the learner about the situation we're in and gave various behavioral expectations in the story that they will read and remember and be able to say aloud to themselves. Okay, and it was in storybook format. In this one right here, this is just an example of a social story you can put all on one page, and you don't have to have many different pages or a storybook format. And this is about the coronavirus as well. Stay at home. I have to stay at home. My favorite places are not open. People are getting each other sick. People do not get sick if they stay at home. So now all people need to stay home, and so on. And you see how it kind of continues and reassures them that everything will be okay. Here is another format, and this is kind of a comic strip conversation type format. And since we read left to right, that's how you read this. School is closed because of the coronavirus. Coronavirus can pass from one person to another. Coronavirus can pass more in big groups, and it is best not to be in a big group. We have big groups at school, so school is closed. I will stay home for many days. My family and my teachers want me to be safe. When it is safe, I can be in big groups again. When it is safe, school will be open again. And so as you can see, same thing. You have some visuals, you have the words, and it tells you about a situation and how to handle and prepare for that situation, and also reassures them that everything will be okay if they follow those rules. And also, given our current situation where we're all learning online, here's one about I can Zoom, because that's kind of a different part of their routine now. And so that's important to come up with some little social story if your child is having a hard time accepting that they have to do their lessons on a computer and not in a regular classroom. So this is just an example of one. Of course, it could be Google Classroom or other formats or platforms that you can insert here instead of Zoom. I can Zoom. There has been a change in my school routine. It is different, but it is going to be okay. I'm going to Zoom my teachers instead of going to school. Zoom is a way for me to see my teacher and hear their voice. I can listen to my teacher's lessons from home. I will have homework to do when I'm not on Zoom. I can learn cool things from my teacher while using Zoom. My teacher can hear and see me while I use Zoom, or while I use Zoom. And then I like this page of the story because it talks about, or it prepares them for when something might go wrong, and how they can handle it. So sometimes Zoom may not work, or whatever computer format you're using. That's okay. I can ask someone to help me. So then it gives them the behavior expectations. And when I Zoom my class or teacher, I should be ready to learn. And then it lists out the different things they should do to be prepared. I can Zoom instead of going to school. So if you want to come up with your own social story about coronavirus, here are some images you can use from a program called Boardmaker. Or you can go online to Google Images, or you can cut out images from a magazine or anything like that, or you can draw it and they can color them. So you don't have to have a fancy tool for the images. Definitely not necessary. You can come up with your own. And here's just another example of a social story about a different behavior expectation. For example, sometimes I forget and push the kids out of my way. This makes them sad and they might cry. It makes me feel sad when they are sad. I should say I'm sorry. It is much better when I remember to use my words and say, excuse me. Others are happy when I remember to use my words. This makes me feel happy. And see, you can just come up with a social story for anything you want your learner or your child to learn and be ready for and be prepared for. When you are coming up with your social story, there are some key points to remember. You should have descriptive sentences, or just talk about where the situation will occur, who's going to be there, what will happen, and why. And then coaching sentences, where you're gently guiding the behavior expectations and reassuring them that things will be okay if they follow those behavior expectations. And then your social story should have patient and supportive language. This is supposed to be a helpful tool, not a tool that will frustrate them or get them upset. So make sure to use kind of positive and supportive language in there. And then when you're first presenting the social story to your learner, originally present when they are calm and relaxed. You don't want to wait until they're already upset about something to now show them the social story about that. They won't be able to process it and it won't be productive. But you can do it after the fact when they're calm, and then you can kind of go over the social story and learn what they should do. Or if you know in advance of something coming up that might be stressful for them, you can come up with a short little story and show it to them beforehand and have them practice. And you can just use this straightforward approach, such as, I have written this story for you. It is about thunderstorms. Let's read it together now. So you're just kind of matter of fact and straightforward about it. And then, just so you know, you've got to have repeated review of these. Just showing them once is not going to be enough. Just like anything that we learn in school, we don't just learn it once and never hear about it again. So same thing with social stories and behavior expectations. You want to review them often. So you got to plan how often you're going to do that and where the story will be reviewed with your child and so on. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful for you. And I thank you for joining us, and be on the lookout for more videos. If you have any questions about social stories, you can contact the Terrell ISD Special Services Department at 972-563-7580, and I'm sure we will get someone to help you. Or you can also ask your special education teacher for your child. And if they don't have the answer, they will get with us and we will get you an answer some way, somehow. All right. Take care.